Today I am going to talk about the neuroscientific basis of subconsciousness. The concept of subconsciousness refers to mental processes that occur below the level of conscious awareness. These processes are not accessible to introspection and can influence behavior and cognitive processes. The study of subconsciousness has been a topic of interest in various fields, including psychology, philosophy, and neuroscience. In this report, we will explore the neuroscientific basis of subconsciousness, including brain areas and processes. The brain is a complex organ that performs various functions, including the processing of sensory information, the integration of multiple streams of information, and the control of behavior. The brain's architecture is organized into multiple hierarchies of processing, ranging from basic sensory processing to higher-level cognitive functions such as reasoning, decision-making, and problem-solving. The subconscious processes are thought to occur in the lower levels of this hierarchy. Research has shown that the thalamus, the brainstem, and the basal ganglia are among the brain areas involved in subconscious processing. For example, the thalamus acts as a relay station for sensory information, and it is responsible for filtering out irrelevant information and transmitting relevant information to the cortex. The basal ganglia, on the other hand, are involved in motor control and habit formation, which are processes that can occur without conscious awareness. Neuroimaging studies have also identified other brain areas that are active during subconscious processing, including the amygdala, the hippocampus, and the prefrontal cortex. The amygdala is involved in the processing of emotional information and plays a role in the formation of emotional memories. The hippocampus, on the other hand, is responsible for memory formation and spatial navigation. The prefrontal cortex is involved in higher-level cognitive functions, such as decision-making, planning, and working memory. Subconscious perception is the ability to process sensory information without conscious awareness. This phenomenon has been studied extensively using various experimental paradigms. One of the most commonly used paradigms is the masked priming task, in which a prime stimulus is presented briefly before a target stimulus, which is then masked. The prime stimulus can influence the processing of the target stimulus, even when it is not consciously perceived. Neuroimaging studies have shown that the occipital cortex, which is responsible for visual processing, is involved in subconscious perception. The visual information is processed in the primary visual cortex and then transmitted to other brain areas, such as the parietal and temporal lobes. These brain areas are responsible for higher-level processing of visual information, such as object recognition and face perception. Emotions are an important aspect of human experience, and they can influence behavior and cognitive processes. The processing of emotional information can occur subconsciously, and this has been studied using various experimental paradigms. One of the most commonly used paradigms is the emotional Stroop task, in which emotional words are presented, and participants are asked to name the color of the font. The emotional words can influence the processing of the color, even when they are not consciously perceived. The amygdala is the brain area most commonly associated with emotional processing, including subconscious emotional processing. Research has shown that the amygdala can respond to emotional stimuli even when they are not consciously perceived. The prefrontal cortex is also involved in emotional processing, particularly in the regulation of emotions. I hope you enjoyed my lecture. Thank you.